I'm a genius. Ask me anything.
My name is Tanmay Bakshi.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 19 years old. I just turned 19 a couple days ago.
Damn.
How can you be called a genius so early?
I personally don't really like to use that word.
What are some of your biggest accomplishments?
When I was 9, I had my first iOS app published to the App Store called T-Tables to, help kids learn their times tables. I found this documentary of IBM Watson. Not sure if you've heard of Watson playing Jeopardy. So I started messing around with like the different IBM Watson AI services because they made those public on their cloud. And I actually found a bug in one of those services back when I was 11.
It's so funny.
I've authored 4 books on the world of technology. That's something I love to do. Working on applications all the way from analyzing your brainwaves to give people the ability to communicate artificially to working with McDonald's at IBM right now, using machine learning to take your orders in a drive-thru.
No wonder you're called a genius.
I was like thinking back what I was doing at those ages. I was like, yeah. I was watching That's So Raven at 12.
Oh my goodness,
What
I have
the
so
fuck?
many questions now. Did you ever feel like you were already different than other kids, or did people tell you were different?
I remember back when I was a kid and I would like go to my friend's house and I'd be like, what's a fun activity? We should try writing some code. I should teach you how to code. And so it took me a while to realize that that's not something
I'm not
that people
gonna
are
lie.
generally as interested in as I
Code
am.
is kind
I
of
think
fun.
I did web in high school and like coding, oh my goodness. I was so frustrated with all the carrots.
Nah.
It's like JavaScript
It's
and no
fun.
bueno.
A long time ago, I took coding classes, but I guess I just dropped out because it was really boring.
And how old are you, Chelsea?
I'm 11 years old, not to be called a genius. Too young.
How do you personally define intelligence, and do you think that it can truly be quantified?
Intelligence is really
Quantified.
hard, if not basically impossible to quantify into one metric. Take IQ scores as an example. They are still used as this way of making people feel like inferior or superior in a way that really doesn't matter.
Saved
I work
you.
in a Title I
Wait,
low-income
what?
school, and it never paints the full picture of like what these kids are capable of because it doesn't take into account like, did they get breakfast that day? So I really appreciate your acknowledgement of the fact that a lot of these metrics that we use can have a lot of negative consequences.
Absolutely.
Do you think your childhood was taken away from you?
Bro,
I feel
stop
like I've
staying
been given
home then.
so
What?
much more that so many other people don't get to have. Like talking to like any one of my other friends, it's like all of them, say that, they would love to be in the position that I'm in, to be totally honest.
No,
And
you
that
wouldn't.
whole thing is something I don't regret. And as a matter of fact, what I got in return is so much more. Like I remember this one trip that I had, I traveled to like 5 different continents from Toronto, which is where
Oh,
I
I
live,
thought-
to
I thought he was talking
Germany,
about a
to
different kind of
India,
trip for
to
a
the
second.
Bahamas, to Australia,
Never
and back
mind,
in a
never
week.
mind.
And I got to see different students at different schools in all these different places, and I got to interact with them, and I got to, answer their questions, and all these experiences are something that I just would never.
Bro, this
trade for
guy is
anything else.
speed running, talking.
This might be kind of an
Are
awkward
we watching
question.
Jubilee? Why wouldn't we watch
brace
Jubilee?
yourself. What's dating like for you?
Aw.
I wouldn't know. Unfortunately, that's not something I've really done
Damn.
yet. It's not something I've, for lack of a better way of phrasing it, had the time for. So I guess
Surely,
we'll find out. in a couple
time
years.
is
Maybe
definitely
we'll
the
have an
reason.
update. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You too. Oh, and also, if you want to, one second.
Oh,
If you ever wanted to connect at
Oh.
some point. with my card.
As a youth or whatever, like
Oh,
do you
boy.
party and stuff?
It's something that my friends have tried to get me to do. It's something that I have the opportunity to do. It's not something that I enjoy very much. A couple of days ago when I turned 19,
What?
my friends threw me like a surprise birthday party, which was really fun. They got me a cake, and on the cake, they had "Happy Birthday" written out, but printed in Rust code. And so,
Jesus
What is the most
Christ.
like annoying misconception people have about being a like child genius?
they assume that I don't do anything like quote unquote for fun, or like I lack like social
Well,
interaction,
I
or, like, I
mean,
don't have friends because of it.
I
didn't
haven't
really
heard
regret missing
much
out on
so
whatever
far.
I did miss out on to begin with.
Well, what do you like to do for fun outside of your job?
I say I love to code. I do it as a recreational activity, and suddenly people are like,
Okay,
sure,
it's
but what do you
not
do
that
for fun?
fun.
I love movies and TV shows. I mean, I remember traditionally, SpongeBob is still my favorite TV show, realistically.
That's so awesome.
That's space.
Do you think that robots will take over?
No.
Definitely not. Robots are not taking over the world. That is one of the misconceptions I love to address. To be fair,
Good.
Yeah. I don't blame anybody for having those misconceptions.
Do you think you have strict parents?
No, because if you look at the things they've let me do, like it's incredibly unconventional. My entire family is so supportive of the stuff that I do.
Parental support is so important.
We'll trust you enough. We'll put in the effort to let you be homeschooled. And then when I wanted to start like working at IBM, they were like, you know, sure, you know, maybe don't go to university because, you know, so many of my mentors were like, you wouldn't really gain much from it. And, you know, now it's really fascinating because
Fair
I'm like
enough.
a professor at the University of Winnipeg and at iUniversity in Tokyo, and I get to teach like artificial intelligence and machine learning. So
College is overrated.
Do you always assume that you're the smartest person in the room?
definitely not. I actually currently also work at IBM.
Don't
And
cap.
a lot of the time I'll be in meetings with people who have been working on products for decades.
I think
Fair
it's
enough.
honestly like probably good that you don't.
Do people question your intelligence because you're so young?
There are going to be some people that at first are like, wait, what? Why are we hiring a 17-year-old? Like I remember some folks that had worked with me before were sort of fighting for the whole, no, he does know what he's talking about, right? He does have that expertise.
Do you think that your label as like a
enough.
genius means that you contribute more to society?
I think we all contribute in different ways. It depends on your definition of an impact or what value really is to you.
Please teach me how to code.
Honestly, absolutely. I help my friends out all the time. So honestly, I'm happy to do so. Feel free to reach out to me.
That teacher I had last time did not work for me.
Since you started working so young, you could retire really young
Shut your
potentially.
little ass
Is
up.
this something you look forward to?
And this is actually a question that one of my friends asked me a little while ago. She said, I'm pretty sure if we gave you two options, it's either you continue doing what you normally do for a month, or you get to go on like a really fun vacation, but there's no tech at all for that month. You'd probably just keep doing what you do. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm still gonna keep doing the stuff that I love to do because it's honestly
enough.
really fun for me. I wanna keep doing it.
Are there any other like facets of your existence you feel don't get as much attention?
One personality trait that I have that maybe people don't realize, and that I think that's what leads to quite a few of the questions that they ask me, is the fact that I'm naturally just a really curious person, right? Like if I am given a topic on pretty much anything, I love delving deep into it regardless of what it's about. And same thing with tech. And because I'm also so passionate about it, along with that natural curiosity, I end up, gaining a lot of experience doing it.
Are you set for life financially because you started working so young in tech?
Why?
You can kind of tell which software developers are in the field just for money. But anyway, that's a different thing. I've never done the work that I do for the money. The vast majority of my apps are free. Almost all the code that I write is open source, except for obviously like proprietary stuff for a company like at IBM. And so I've always done it with the goal and the ambition of helping other people as much as I can.
That
Some
it?
people say that
Not
Google
answering
is
the
paying
question,
me
though.
somewhere between a couple thousand to a couple $1 million a month. Some people say that I'm already worth I think I saw the largest estimate was like $230 something million. I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. All I can say is that they're definitely not accurate. Google does not pay me. I do not work for them.
Do you think that your work will be world changing?
You can change the world just by having an impact on a few people. More specifically, actually, one of my goals is to reach out to and help at least 100,000 aspiring beginners, really help them learn how to code, help them innovate with code. And so that definitely is something that I want to work towards. That's what I'm striving for.
I'm
enough.
very impressed by you, and we should be friends, to be honest.
Hey,
Hi,
nice to
Josh.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Not what I
That's
had in mind.
interesting, I guess.
What did you have?
Maybe like a top